The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, it is another Thursday morning and it's sunny in Sydney, and you have joined the Dubai Tourism webinar number 7, where we will go through all the information around Ramadan and authentic cultural experiences. My name's Joanne and I'm Head of Marketing at AFTA, and it's my pleasure to welcome you today on this webinar. This webinar is hosted by the wonderful team at Julie King and Associates, and joining me today I have Andrew and Cherie. Guys, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, and thank you, Joe.
Good morning.
Very good morning to each and every one of you. Thank you for joining us today. As you can tell by the voice, I'm Andrew, and Cherie is in the background there. Now, it's our pleasure to take you off to Dubai yet again for another exciting experience. We're going to take you to Ramadan. Now, just bear in mind, it is 38 degrees there today, so I hope you're dressed appropriately as we fly you over there now with our partners at Emirates. Hope you had a comfortable flight, because we did all upgrade you to first class, so I hope you enjoyed that experience.
Thanks, Andrew.
So welcome. Here we are. That's a pleasure. So welcome to Dubai, everyone. And just to remind you, what is Ramadan? This is an education session for you too. So just think of me as your university lecturer. Ramadan is an important time for all Muslims across the world, and particularly in Dubai, this is no different. And the holy month presents a season of prayers, fasting, and more importantly, it's a season of togetherness. Now, the dates of Ramadan change every year as it's based on the cycles of the moon. Now, in 2020, it took place from the 24th of April to the 24th of May. And if you're lucky enough to be in Dubai during this special time, even in the past, you would have experienced a whole nother side to the city. It's quite extraordinary. Ramadan provides visitors to Dubai a much deeper insight into the local culture and the opportunity to be integrated with locals in traditional meals and experiences. That one always works well for me, and the ability to enjoy many authentic festivities in the period. Now, the ambience is unmatched, from the sumptuous iftar buffets, which I just can't wait to get back to extended mall hours, which Cherie is just salivating on. She just loves her shops. So be warned, Ramadan in Dubai offers a complete, unique cultural experience. And of course, tourists, you're all expected to respect the holy month of Ramadan, even if you're not fasting. So yes, there are plenty of things for you to do there. Now let's go into the culture of Ramadan. Now, to better understand the rituals of Ramadan, particularly for Muslims, here is what a typical day during the holy month involves. Now, suhoor is the early meal. Now, before the crack of dawn, Muslims awake to prayer and they partake in suhoor in preparation for a day of fast, which starts with the morning call to prayer. Just like we have a morning call to go to the gym, right, Cherie? So, Siyam is the fast, which means to refrain. Okay, so Siyam, refrain. Now, that's the hour of fasting. During Ramadan, Muslims are required to abstain from eating, drinking, or smoking between the hours of sunrise and sunset. Fasting also teaches you to put yourself in the shoes of those less fortunate and encourages participation in charitable activities. So that's very important. Now, Iftar is breaking the fast. As the sun sets, a pause falls over the city until the roar of cannon signal the end of the fast and the proclamation of Iftar. This is really exciting. Dubai joins the world's 1.6 billion Muslims who traditionally break their fast with a sip of water and some dates. I love the dates. I can't get enough of them. Now, Tarawih is your prayers. So the Isha, night prayers, and Tarawih, extended evening prayers during Ramadan, are very important for Muslims. Now, Laylat al-Qadr, the night of decree, falls during the last 10 days of the holy month, and this is the time when prayers are considered to be equivalent to 1,000 months of worship. That's a lot of worshipping. Now, zakat means charity. So one of the 5 pillars of Islam, charity, is particularly significant during Ramadan. So special initiatives are set up by the government and organizations where individuals also step forward to help share the Ramadan spirit with those less fortunate. Nothing like our CEO sleep out, let me tell you. Now, the community comes together with Ramadan. So when the entire community comes together, particularly in an effort to better themselves, whether it be attempting to keep the fast or helping the poor, you can be part of the holy month in Dubai by embracing customs and wishing friends Ramadan Mubarak. So say that all together, Ramadan Mubarak. Well done, you did well. Do you need to fast? Well, regardless of your faith, Ramadan can be a special month in Dubai because fasting is not required for non-Muslims. Yeah, you say. But visitors are asked to be considerate by refraining from walking around and eating, drinking and smoking in public during the daylight hours, so be very mindful of that. It is also important to note that restaurants are open, but they may have some screens set up across to be respectful, as some eating areas in malls and attractions, a lot of the Muslims don't want to see that. So visitors must use designated screened off areas in public that are well hidden from view. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, some general cultural awareness and etiquette to keep in mind. Now, by all means, when you're there, it is so exciting. Take part in an iftar. It is so much fun. It's a significant part of Ramadan. It's the daily fast, with followers abstaining from all food and beverage during the daylight hours, and the start of the iftar, or the meal break that marks the end of the fast, is signalled only once the sun has set. So many of Dubai's restaurants will offer online Ramadan menus during the holy month, highlighting traditional dishes that are deeply nourishing. So there you go, we're thinking of your health already. There are also a number of elaborate tents and ballrooms around the city, which are authentic in decoration and allow Muslims and visitors to Dubai to indulge in sumptuous spreads at sunset. Now, traditional feasts continue until it's time for an early morning suhoor. Remember, prayer or a pre-fast meal. The age-old tradition is integral to Arabian culture, and the month of giving harbours a spirit of forgiveness and gratitude, something we could all learn from, don't you agree? Now, also share a Ramadan greeting. Greet people with seasonal salutations. So Ramadan Kareem or Ramadan Mubarak. Those who take place in the holy month are open about their beliefs and happy to answer polite questions about what the period means to them. So this is also really educational for families. Kids love to find out what's going on and love to ask their own questions. Now, also make sure you dress appropriately. You know, I don't want to see you all out there looking like Borat. I want you to, your guidelines for dressing in public are very well established. Try to be especially considerate and respectful during Ramadan. Cover your shoulders, your knees in loose-fitting clothing. And for a lot of visitors, Ramadan is an ideal time for us to immerse ourselves in the region's rich culture. You must explore Dubai's many e-commerce platforms or boutique websites to get yourself some local attire, including some beautiful embroidered abayas and hand-tailored kanjuras. So they're all quite special. Be charitable. A pillar of Ramadan is practicing acts of kindness and grace. So by all means, you can send blank checks to me today and show your own bit of being charitable. So join in and contribute towards fundraisers and charities throughout the month. Many stores and restaurants offer the opportunity to add a small amount to your receipt. So think of tipping, with all proceeds going directly to a government-approved and licensed charity. Something very nice, that is, compared to other cultures around the world. Now, learn about their local culture. If you're in Dubai during Ramadan, it's the perfect time to learn more about the city's traditions and their customs. So, for example, read up about Dubai's history or look up landmarks like the Al Fahidi historical neighborhood, just so you better understand the nation's roots, where it came from. What you should avoid during Ramadan is eating in public. How difficult will that be for us? So all visitors and residents are expected to refrain from walking around eating, drinking, and particularly chewing gum in public during the day. Though pregnant women and young children, you're exempt. So lucky you. Smoking in public, forget it. Just like eating and drinking, you are expected to refrain from smoking in public during the fasting hours. Now, loud music, don't think you're going to walk around with your beatbox on your shoulder. If you happen to listen to music, use headphones and please keep the volume low. Don't you wish you could say that on the trams at peak hour? Now, some lyrics may not be appropriate and may disturb those who are fasting. So in public areas, avoid music being played during daylight hours. So be careful, no Katy Perry or Black Eyed Peas or anything that's risque. In general, there is no live entertainment during the month of Ramadan in the desert or in bars. Okay, I've all got your attention on that, good. Now, an iftar. This is where the fun begins, a cultural iftar. Sheikh Mohammed Center for Cultural Understanding is a non-profit organisation which first opened its doors back in 1998. and you will remember what you were doing in 1998. Located in a beautifully restored wind tower house in the Al Fahidi historical neighbourhood in Burj, Dubai. Here you will experience an iftar, or the breaking of fast, at Dubai's traditional houses in the Al Fahidi district. So try some local Emirati dishes and learn more about the holy month of Ramadan. And also have a tour around, have a look at the Siskas or the historic district, and visit the Al Farouk Masjid for an immersive Ramadan experience. Yes, you heard me right, Al Farouk Masjid for an immersive Ramadan experience, followed by local desserts, my favorite thing. I'm first lining up for those, and an open question and answer session, which is really informative. Its motto is being open doors, open minds. All questions, no matter how sensitive, they are all welcome and answered. Now, the gathering for the Iftar events will commence approximately 30 minutes before the call to prayer every evening. So program it's daily, goes from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m., but just not on Fridays. Now, advanced bookings are required at this centre because it's very popular over Ramadan, so just keep that one in mind. Now, hotel iftars. This is a fun one too. Iftars is the evening meal consumed by Muslims to break their daily fast, as mentioned before, during their Ramadan. Now, it's a special time when friends and families gather together at home or at a restaurant. We here in Victoria can't imagine what it's like going out to a restaurant at the moment, so this would be fun if we were there. If you're in Dubai during Ramadan, we recommend you attend an iftar, as it's such a unique experience. Now, iftars, they don't have to be expensive. Trust me, you can find a restaurant of iftars priced between $12, which is 30 dinar, and even up to a hair-raising expense of $100 per person. So you can tell it's not that expensive. So if you're looking for a great value iftar deal in Dubai, Cafe Funky Town, that's right, Cafe Take Me to Funky Town, is serving iftar meals for as low as $12. Considered to be a hidden gem in the Jumeirah Lake Towers area, Cafe Funky Town is the perfect spot to find warm service, Parisi delicacies, and Indian street food. So for iftar, you can take your pick from their vegetarian or non-vegetarian and even light meal options, which are priced anywhere from $12 right up until $20. Some notable restaurants worthy of a mention, so grab your pen and paper. I'll give you some tips. Gold on 27, which is at the Burj Al Arab in Jumeirah. It's a Ramadan celebration setting gold bed deck surrounds, so you would look like a king and queen in there. Delight in all their savoury bites as you take in, as you all know, magnificent views from that particular location. The Majlis Godolphin Jumeirah Emirates Towers. You can experience dining in the Godolphin Ballroom. It's got a beautiful modern design and traditional style. So here you can savour some authentic Arabic cuisine to the beautiful sounds of the live oud. That's right, how romantic. Thiptara, the Palace Downtown Hotel. Take iftar on the shores of the Burj Lake. And remember there you've got beautiful views of the Dubai Fountain Show. Plus you've also got the Burj Khalifa, which has got its beautiful and award-winning Thai restaurant. So there's unlimited set of signature menu and Thai dishes to enjoy there. Now the Marina Social at the Intercontinental Dubai Marina. Now the iftar there is a set menu with Middle Eastern dishes designed to be served sharing style. So you've got to be a little bit polite here. Panoramic views of the waterfront too, so you'll just love that. And the Hakkasan at the Atlantis the Palm, which you've all heard of and you all know where that is. Here you can try an alternative take on traditional iftars by heading to the world famous Cantonese restaurant. So the 4-course set menu includes signature dishes such as Peking duck and dim sum platter, how I will consume that, as well as dishes specifically created for Ramadan. So you are not going to starve. There is so much diversity in the food range that you have there. But more interestingly, for all of us, this is something I want to do, is try a tent iftar. So examples of large tents and ballrooms are at Atlantis the Palm, at Assatea. There's also one at the JW Marriott Marquis, an Al Fanouis Lounge it's called, and the Farouz tent at Fairmont the Palm. That is a beautiful location, that one. And there's a Ramadan tent at Meydan, which is Dubai's racecourse hotel. Now the Al Majij, Madinat, Jumeirah, and the beautiful desert property Al Harira, Bab Al Shahams. Yes, are you getting all this? Can you see how educated I am with the Arabic language? Anything to look out for is hotels have some amazing deals during Ramadan, so you can put your clients in any of these 5-star resorts for the cost of a 4-star, which is exciting. Now, I've got to put the leash back on Cherie so she doesn't go wandering. We're about to enter a shopping mall. This is dangerous, so please refrain yourself from wandering off and going into a shop as I cover what happens during Ramadan in shopping malls. Most major malls continue to operate during Ramadan, yes, so you won't be in tears crying on the street corner, and they have extended late night hours to accommodate those fasting between sunrise and sundown. How nice of them. Now, the majority are open until 1 a.m. Oh my gosh, I'm just scared of your credit cards. So they're open during the weekdays, extended hours over the weekends up until 2 a.m. Now, seriously, girls, are you that desperate? Now, with the extended trading hours and more shoppers visiting after dark, malls make Ramadan an extra special experience with a lineup of events and exhibitions. Visitors can expect to find everything from traditional art and handicrafts to giveaways and special offers all throughout the holy month. So some malls even offer bigger promotions in the run-up to the Al Iftar, the celebration marking the end of Ramadan. So for the little ones, kids as well, Kids Zania offers special discounts, while the Dubai Aquarium and Underwater Zoo, they also offer discounts for the entire family during Ramadan. So whilst many fast during daylight hours in Ramadan, there are multitude of dining options for non-Muslims, children and the elderly. So don't let that be a concern. Major malls, including the Dubai Mall and the Mall of the Emirates, they continue to operate their food courts during the month from midday to closing. Now, the non-food court restaurants within the malls tend to be open only for Iftar, which is after sunset, and Sahur, which is before sunrise hours, okay? So just keep that in mind as well. Now, Ramadan night markets. Cherie, can you just stand back from that handbag market over there, please, and put down that jewelry? We're here to talk about the night markets. We're not here to shop. Now, the night market of Ramadan is the most celebrated place during the holy month and offers a wholesome experience from visitors from all over the UAE and, of course, neighbouring countries, because they visit the fair to enjoy the celebration of the market. So the uniqueness of this fair lies in its feel of very authentic shopping, experience in a bazaar-like setup. The night market is organised at Sheikh Rashid Hall at the Dubai World Trade Center and opens at 8 p.m. right through to 2 a.m. Yes, 2 a.m. And this is over the 10 days of Ramadan. Now, it's a place where all the cultural heritage and a diverse variety of products are exhibited. So the overall ambience of this market is traditional. They sell a wide range of products such as electronics, toys, health and beauty offerings, jewelry, accessories, perfumes, personal care, handicrafts, collectible baby items, clothing, look, the list goes on. Now, one of the biggest highlights of the market is the scrumptious array of food. Now, after the whole day of difficult fast, delicious food's one thing that's always on the mind of everyone, and the Ramadan night market in Dubai makes a perfect place to enjoy a meal for the whole family across various cuisines, again, to celebrate the cosmopolitan of diversity. The market's home to some amazing deals, even bargains, dare I say it. Now, if you like product, there's a lot of ways to buy it. You can either look for the best deals and offers or simply just show your interest and use the age-old method of bargaining. So are you exhausted from shopping? It's now 2 a.m. It's time for you to move on. Let's have a look at some of our Ramadan evenings. Cherie, put down that handbag. Can't trust her. Now, cannons are fired at sunset. Now, in various locations across the city to mark the starting of Iftar, remember, evening meals, when you can witness the peaceful and quiet town emerging into a buzzing hub of activities. Now, while local TV stations broadcast the cannons being fired every evening during Ramadan, watching it is such a fantastic experience. The sound echoes across the Emirati and from locations that include the Burj Khalifa. So you can certainly see the cannon fire off in some incredible spots. You'll always hear it. So you'll find most tourists gathering at the Madinat Jumeirah's Fort Island. This is where one of the city's iconic Iftar cannons is ceremoniously fired at sunset. Each cannon's fired twice in a row to announce the start of Ramadan and once every day to announce an Iftar. I thought it was fired twice to show the amount of handbags Cherie buys on the hour. Now, on the occasion of Eid Al Fitr, which signals the end of Ramadan, cannons are fired twice in a row to announce the start of the festival, and twice again on Eid morning. Now, traffic during this hour can be chaotic because people are rushing to, to their homes or to restaurants for the Iftar celebrations. So please just be mindful to all of your clients that if they're taking an Uber or a taxi, they need to think about that in advance, maybe even make a booking. Night walks, something I love to do, enjoy the lights and just the colour of the city, take in the atmosphere, breathe in the air. The city's illuminated during this time, so it's quite spectacular to witness, and as you all know, has the most incredible architecture. So you can also enjoy a world-class theatre show at the Dubai Opera House. That's something that's fun. Or visit a theme park with the family because most are open till 11 p.m. or later, which is fantastic because that's where you will see me. Now let's have a look at some authentic cultural experiences. One thing I love, I'm addicted to camels. I know it's a very odd thing to say, but I do love camels. Now Dubai may seem young with its modern architecture and of course its innovative spirit that we've all seen, but the city's history dates back centuries. It's a global trading hub and it embraced a cultural landscape that was rich and extraordinary. So the best way to appreciate Dubai's present and future is to travel back to its humble beginnings. Now, Dubai has a multitude of city tours that you can book for your clients, anywhere from architectural tours, historical tours, or even more in-depth cultural tours. Now, of course, in the Al Seif district, this is where the old meets the new. So Al Seif is a bustling destination. It's spread over about 1.8 kilometres. And it's embedded in Dubai's culture and heritage. And it has a charming atmosphere that resonates throughout its district heritage and of course even its contemporary areas. It's located near the iconic Dubai Creek, the Al Seif. It's making its mark on Dubai's heritage district. Beautiful traditions combined there with modern designs, and it's a new hotspot for destinations for a lot of tourists. Beautiful water views, enchanting walkways. It pays tribute to old traditions, explore floating markets, hosting regional crafts and textiles, has a lot of pop-ups dedicated to local cuisine, savvy shopping. It can be discovered here like Cherie, put down that handbag. Oh, you can't control her. So you can buy handbags here, souk-style stalls, local dress favourites to be purchased like the Kanjura. So how's that? Now, some other cultural highlights is the Al Fahidi historical neighbourhood. Now, the traditional style of life that was prevalent in Dubai before the mid-19th century till the 1970s, when I was in nappies, is reflected here at the Al Fahidi historical neighbourhood. Now, buildings here that have high air towers called barajil, built with traditional building materials such as stone or gypsum, teak, sandalwood, fronds and palm wood. They're all aligned side by side, separated by alleyways, pathways, public squares. It gives the district a really natural and beautiful diversity. The smell in the air here is quite extraordinary. It's something to experience. The buildings of the district, they're currently used in incubating a number of varied cultural and artistic activities. Now that's private and public, of course, ranging from art exhibits, special museums, cultural artistic societies, ateliers to cultural centres, such as the Sheikh Mohammed Centre for Cultural Understanding is there. The district also hosts a number of seasonal cultural and artistic events, such as the Sikka Art Fair, where it's Artists in Residence program, Heritage Week, National Day events, religious celebrations. It's got some really nice, cozy, beautiful little cafes, restaurants and motels overflowing with a heritage scattered all over the district. So have I convinced you to go here? I'm sure I have. Now, before I jump too far forward, I also want to tell you about the ex-VA Heart Hotel, because it's quite an interesting little spot. It's tucked away in the Al Fahidi neighbourhood. This cozy hotel features 14 unique rooms, little tiny individual rooms that showcase the architectural and cultural motifs of the region. Now, its destination is also popular for internationally acclaimed art gallery and award-winning restaurant here. Something to embrace. Now, one thing I want you to make sure you do when you go, and please tell your clients to do the same, is to experience the abra. The abra comes from the Arabic verb abra, which means to cross. So take a ride on the Dubai Abra. It's the city's most traditional mode of transport, and for centuries it's remained one of Dubai's most frequented modes of transport. Makes it a symbol of the city's history and its heritage. I love it. Everyone should experience crossing the Dubai Creek on an Abra. The creek is the original centre of the city's commerce. It still buzzes with boats zipping up and down and plying their trade and cargo. So using the Abra, it's a great way to take in some of the old parts of the city. Now see this beautiful building over here on the right-hand side, very architecturally designed as we would all expect in Dubai. That's the Etihad Museum in Dubai. So here, this offers a contemporary history of the United Arab Emirates in Dubai's latest cultural offering. So it's a magnificent new building located in Jumeirah. The museum offers a series of interactive pavilions where visitors can explore the UAE's history. So through photos, films and more, you can see how the country was developed throughout time, especially between 1968 and 1974. I should send them some photos of me as an infant and you could see how I've changed and grown in those periods, but I don't think people would be interested. Now at the Etihad Museum, visitors can discover the UAE's rich heritage about life before the treaty that unified the 7 Emirates. So there's no better place to gain insight into the UAE's extraordinary economic development since its independence as the first federation in the Arab world. It's spread over 25,000 square meters. The museum's located on the same historical site of the Union House, the very place where the Constitution was signed in 1971. It's designed by Canadian architects and it has a beautiful curved white roof. You can see there, it was inspired by the shape of the Constitution. It's also adorned with 7 columns which symbolize the pens used to sign the agreement. So there you go. You have learnt something here today, people. The Etihad Museum, it's equipped with a library, an education centre, and a temporary exhibition hall and a restaurant. So no, you won't starve. Now, let's step back in time. Let's go back to the Iron Age of the Saruk al-Hadid. It's an interactive museum, the first of a series of museums set to transform the historical district of Dubai into a rich cultural zone. Now, this museum delves into the mysteries of the Iron Age through findings from archaeological sites on the edge of the Rub al-Khali Desert. It was discovered by chance by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai. So while he was in a helicopter flying over the area, as we all do, His Highness noticed unusual dune formations and he realized that they should be investigated further. So since then, archaeologists have been working to excavate the site and understand what happened there. They've found evidence of over 5,000 years of activity and they now believe the site reached a peak in the Iron Age around 3,000 years ago. They've been unearthing thousands of iron tools, stoneware, bronze pots, gold jewelry and fossils. So they're now on display at the museum. So visitors can even carry out their own dig in a simulated archaeological excavation. That would be fun. The museum invites visitors to get involved and discover the mysteries of the Iron Age. Kids can also follow the gallery trails. They can explore the milestones and build their own understanding of the era. Now remember, this is located in the historic Shindakha district of Dubai. It offers the perfect reason to spend a day in the old Dubai. Combine it with a traditional Abra ride across the creek or visit to the souks and your day is done. The Saruk al-Hadid has already changed our understanding of the Iron Age in the Arabian Peninsula. But of course, there's so much more research to be done and there's many, many more mysteries, I'm sure, that are yet to be discovered. Now, the Dubai Heritage Village, always a favourite, always popular. This is located in the Al Shindakha historical neighbourhood in Dubai. It's close to the diving village to embrace the heritage events. It represents the components of wild, marine and mountain life where you can identify closely the old traditional customs of the country and the special characteristics of old houses, even some handicrafts, patterns and their form of living. The Heritage Village provides a glimpse into Dubai's traditional culture and lifestyle, also includes Emirates' maritime history, their pearl diving traditions and architecture, of course. Now, the display includes a tented Bedouin village, so an ancient armory, wooden chests, and cooking utensils. So you can certainly educate yourself by spending a day here. Now the Al Barmoum Bedouin experience. You can see Bedouin life firsthand here at the Al Mamoum Bedouin experience. This cultural tour will take you on a journey followed by the nomadic desert dwellers and give you insights into their way of living. I find this one fascinating. When you explore the village with your local host and learn about the daily customs and traditions of their culture, the village is also built authentically out of raw materials. And wait for it, this is how innovative they are. They've made villages with using goat hair based next to a beautiful desert oasis in the El Mamoun Desert Conservation Reserve. So that's something to really see. The goat hair is phenomenal. Discover here what Dubai was like in the 1920s. How romantic. Think of all those romantic movies that could be set here when the nomadic Bedouin wandered the sand dunes of the desert in search of food and water. Now, it's spread across 40 hectares of shrubland. It's a fertile area. The reserve is home to over 204 species of native birds, 158 migrant birds, and over 10 kilometres of lakes. I bet you didn't know that. Now let's get a little bit more education into the El Shindaha Museum. It's set along the Dubai Creek. El Shindaha Museum tells the proud story of the nation's past and traditions. Now, the museum's Dubai Creek, which is birth of a city and a state-of-the-art multimedia experience, it guides visitors through the area's dramatic developments over the centuries. The carefully curated tour here features interactive videos, touch displays, historic photographs and artifacts, so all visitors can gain insight into what it was like for Emiratis to raise a family by the waterways, and of course how maritime trade affected their livelihoods. Now, afterwards, you could stop by the perfume house, discover the story behind Emirati and the Emirati fragrances. I wonder if that's where I can get my Rexona Sport. Possibly not. It highlights now how scents played an integral role in the nation's history, with a legacy that still lives on today. So you will have some amazing aromas to experience here. Adults to enter here is about 15 dirham. Children under 5 are free. So worth having a look at. Now, a Jumeirah Mosque visit. This cannot be missed. The Jumeirah Mosque is one of the only 2 mosques in Dubai which are open to non-Muslims. So this is a great place for us to learn about the religion and the culture of Emiratis and have all of your questions answered. So they have morning and afternoon mosque visits. It's about 35 dinar per person, so about $12, $13, and it's open daily from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. except, remember, Fridays. Remember that, except Fridays. Now, registration begins 30 minutes before the program starts, includes light Emirati refreshments. Bookings aren't required, so just turn up, and remember, modest clothing is preferred. Traditional dresses can be borrowed from the mosque as well if you're caught short. Now, remember, everybody, Dubai has launched a compliance program to certify and recognise hotels and all retail establishments, food and beverage outlets and attractions that have implemented the all-important public health protocols for the prevention and management of COVID. This will always be top of mind for your clients, so please bear in mind that Dubai is very much so focused on this. It's an initiative that's part of efforts to showcase Dubai as one of the world's safest destinations, because it continues to receive tourists following its reopening to international visitors, which was back on the 7th of July. Now, a verification and validation process had been established in collaboration with Dubai Tourism, Dubai Economy and the Dubai Municipality for issuing the Dubai Assured Stamp, which goes to establishments that have complied with health and safety guidelines issued in accordance with preventative protocols outlined by Dubai's Supreme Committee of Crisis and Disaster Management. Now try saying that backwards. With the reopening of many public and private facilities and amenities, including beaches, shopping malls or restaurants, swimming pools, golf courses, you name it, the resumption of popular activities like water sports or camping, the Dubai Assured program will cover all key tourism touchpoints across the city. Now, there's over 1,000 establishments that have already been inspected for compliance with the relative guidelines as part of the program. So the stamp, it's a visual mark that reassures all of our guests that safety and hygiene measures prescribed by the authorities have been complied with across all tiers and categories of tourist and resident touchpoints. The establishments can feature this stamp in their marketing communications. Now, the Director General of Dubai Tourism advised health and safety is foremost on the minds of travellers when selecting their destination. So the Dubai Assured Seal is a simple yet critical mechanism to ensure tourists enjoy a very smooth and safe experience at every stage of their journey, from arriving at Dubai Airport to even departing from Dubai. So please advise your clients they are safe to travel to Dubai once our international borders are open. Okay. Now, just a very quick reminder, grab your pen or take a photo with your iPhone. We do have our assets available for you to access on our Visit Dubai website or a Dubai expert. We have online training programs designed to increase your knowledge. We've got an online asset collection of images and videos if you wish to use them in any of your social spreads. We also have the Dubai 360 experience. If you want to go and have a quick little break this afternoon and have a quick 5-minute holiday, click on that particular link and have a little look around Dubai. It's quite exciting to do that. And of course, we also have the See You Soon campaign, which is a promotional campaign in enticing travellers back into Dubai. So all I can say from here is a very big thank you. Thank you for your time today. I hope you're able to take away some new information for your clients and for yourself. I've got to go back and look for Cherie because she's somewhere in one of those malls. It's going to take me hours to locate her. So in the meantime, let's open up with Joe and let's get some questions and answers from you, if you have any at all.
Well, thanks, Andrew. I'm not here either because I think I'm in the shops with Cherie.
Oh, get out of there. You too. It's just ridiculous. How many handbags have you got now?
Well,
There's always room for more.
The shopping is fabulous, I must say, and it's almost 24 hours if I recall.
Oh yes,
Yep.
Well, you're
Just
getting
about.
close to that. Nearly 2 a.m. Seriously, who would be out at 2 a.m. shopping? I can hear you all screaming at me.
Well, look, while we wait for some questions, I'm just going to send everybody on today's webinar a link to the resources that are available on the AFTA website. So you should see that appear in the chat box. On that is all the links that Andrew showed on the previous slide, as well as a link to all the recordings and all the slides that we've had for previous webinars. So it's a great place to go and revisit and get that information. Does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask either Andrew or Cherie before we wrap up today?
And my guess is it's going to be highly unlikely because they were educated so incredibly well. I brought out my university books. Everyone's highly educated. They're all now up to speed. Fantastic. Is there a single question out there at all?
Well,
yes, no, I am taken. Thank you for asking.
Well, it was very informative, I think, from many of the members that I've dealt with before. They've always asked, to clarify and explain Ramadan and how that works. So Jackie, Janet, thank you for your comments that you really enjoyed today's webinar. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jackie and Janet and everyone else that was on today. And we hope we see you all in Dubai very, very soon. Come with Cherie and I. We've got to try and get her another handbag.
Definitely.
Edwina, thanks for your comments too.
Oh, yes.
I just wanted to point out as well, the reason for obviously covering Ramadan is that we often do get a lot of questions about, when your customers are traveling through, and I guess they have a lot of questions as well as to what they can do and what they can experience. So it is, quite a unique time, and it's a great time in Dubai because it's pretty quiet in terms of, expats and things like that. So it's easy enough to get around, and like we said before, hotel deals are amazing during that time as well. So you can, generally stay at your 5-star resort that you wouldn't normally be able to, have in your budget. So that's another bonus as well. And just be able to experience the traditions there, like the Iftars is really quite unique. So I think now more we would encourage people to go during that time to have that experience because they generally would not get it anywhere else. So yeah, that's just a little bit of feedback from me.
Yeah, fantastic.
We should set up an iftar here in Melbourne when we're allowed out.
Absolutely.
I think you'll have a lot of people joining you.
We will, for sure. You're all welcome.
Andrew, I do have a question from Heather, who's been thinking of her stomach, wondering how many hours are there between sunrise and sunset?
Yeah, there's not a lot, Heather. Let me put it that way. There's about 6 hours. You can always get something to eat. Maybe your hotels have got 24-hour room service. You will never go hungry in a place like Dubai.
And a question from Renee, and Andrew, Cherie, you might like to help her offline, but she's wondering if someone can help her sign up to the Dubai Expert program. It's telling her that she's already registered, but obviously isn't letting her in. So
yes,
no problem.
Would have done that on purpose.
I might just send her your email addresses, and she can contact you. Renee, hold a second, and I'm going to send something through to you. There you go.
Yeah, for 1,000 dirham, we'll unlock it for you.
I love the Dubai Expert program. It's so much fun. I just love how they've made a game out of understanding the destination.
Yes, it is. It's quite interactive, and you can get a great deal of fun and excitement from that. Plus, it also gives you a great background of planning your own holiday there, and it also helps you, put or plan an itinerary for your clients. So, if you all get a chance, go on to the Dubai Expert online training program.
Amazing. And perhaps you'd like to give us a taster of what's coming up, just so the people that are on today know what to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely. The next webinar we will have will incorporate the team from Dubai Expo 2020. So they will actually give you an update of what's happening in terms of Expo, in terms of the pavilions on offer, and basically what you can do in terms of the lead up for your clients at the end of next year, which will be fabulous.
So now it'll be called Dubai Expo 2021.
It's still going to hold the name of 2020, so
right, okay.
But it will be obviously next year. But yeah, they'll still have the same name because of all the branding and everything that's already had begun pre-COVID. So, but obviously will just be shifted to the same time next year.
Right, fantastic.
What's in a number?
Well, I think we all want to leave 2020 behind.
Totally.
We do. Put it in the
it'll be great
books.
that one to get an update from the team there. So yeah, definitely jump on because yeah, they'll have lots of exciting news.
Great. Well, Cherie, Andrew, that was really informative. Thank you so much for taking the time out to provide our members
Very welcome.
information.
Stay positive, everybody. Have confidence. We will get back to normal one day. I wish you all health and wellness.
Thank you, Andrew. Much appreciated. And everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you on the next webinar hosted by Dubai Tourism, proudly brought to you by Julie King and Associates. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.